Welcome back to Holistic Developer channel. This is the channel where we find information about software engineering, everything related to software, to tech, lifestyle, and stuff that might be relevant for the moment. So right now I am planning to share with you my schedule for prepping for a coding interview. And let's face it, coding interviews are not the easiest thing to do, and it requires a lot of effort, preparation, focus, and a little bit of luck as well. So in the previous video I shared with you my strategy, what I'm planning to spend my time on, what topics I'm planning to do, what are my tasks, and so on. This is a video about exactly how I will divide my time in a week to prepare for a coding interview. And this video will be probably a lengthy one because I will actually show you how I am dividing which time slots it will be for doing lead code, which time slots will be for project work, which slots are for application, job applications, and so on. So if you're not interested in actually seeing how I am scheduling, feel free to skip to the part where I'll actually show. Let's get started. Okay, so here I have a blank calendar. And I have things that I want to do every week, tasks that I'm planning to do every week. So I keep them in my Google Keep Notes. And these are the things that I'm planning to do on a weekly basis. So I have them on the side, and I have my blank calendar right in front of me. And I'm planning to spread these things through my week. And also I'm planning to look at what is my schedule overall, like what things do I want to focus on. So first I want to focus on strings and arrays. So that will be my focus for the week. Next week will be linked list. Next week will be graphs or something like that. So I will start with that. I will select a slot on the calendar and I will say strings and arrays, and they will start to that time, and that's the start. And I want it to be all day, and it will end on Friday that week. And I'm making sure that I'm adding it to the correct calendar. So this is the calendar that I want to add it to. So that's my focus of the week. Then I woke up pretty early because that's the time that I'm actually can focus the most, and my brain, it happens to work the best in the morning. In the evening I'm super tired and I cannot focus, so the only time that works for me, I chose to wake up early and focus on that. So for me, I will start coding at around 5 in the morning, and I'll have for about 2 hours coding this or coding problems. Coding problems, and it will be something that I do on daily basis. So I'll add a repeat for every week of the day. I'm not adding any reminders because they, after a while, they get annoying. So for the coding part, I'm color coding it as the salmon color. It will be associated for me when I'm looking at the calendar. I know that that's the coding problems, things that I want to do. So I save that, and that's a weekly thing. I look at where is my coding problems, solving coding problems. Okay, I add it to my calendar. Next, I have to do project work. For me, my daughter wakes up at around 7, so that's the time where I'll go and wake her up. So from 7 to 8, I'm not scheduling anything. Next thing I will do is I'll add here, I'll do project. I'll name it project fun, and I will repeat it also. I'll repeat it every day of the week. I'll add it to the correct calendar, and I will change that to a green color because projects for me will be associated with a green color. Okay, we have that taken out of the way. As a graduate of a bootcamp, I'm required to apply to 40 jobs every week. So that's a task that I have here. And I can choose to do like one day of applications only or spread it evenly through the week or something like that. I'm planning to spread it evenly through the week. And since the morning, it's the morning when my brain is the most fun working on stuff, I would just realize that I didn't add the correct time here. So I'll adjust that to about an hour a week for all the events. And at 9, I'll probably add something like doing interview trivia. So that will be probably interview trivia for an hour. I will do probably a purple-ish color. Did I make it every week? Repeat on every day. Save that. So I do have tech trivia taken care of. Next, let's find a time slot. So I'll probably do job applications after lunch because after lunch, you don't need that much brain power to do job applications or something like that. At least it's not as intensive as actually coding for interviews, like solving problems on lead code or hackering. So I'll do job applications and I'll mark it as 8. That's kind of target. And I will change that to week. And let's say, can we do 8 applications in an hour? Let's do an hour and a half for that. Save. Okay, so that's on a weekly basis. So let's see, I will mark this task as taken care of. Okay, what do we want to do next? Next, probably it makes sense to, I'll add coaching. So I have coaching session with my coach. It's usually around that time. Coaching is repeated on weekly basis. So on weekly basis, I'll say save. I didn't change the color, so I'll update the color to be yellowish and save that. Okay. We got that color. I didn't like it. Let's see, why didn't you like it? So I'll do yellow again, save all the events. Sounds good. Okay, I have the coaching taken care of. So whiteboarding, it's a skill that it's something that really needs to be worked on. And also whiteboarding, it's actually solving a problem using kind of a whiteboard approach or a piece of paper. In my case, I sometimes do a piece of paper. Sometimes I'm using my tablet as a whiteboard. So I'll add whiteboarding for an hour every day. Whiteboarding. I'll repeat it on every day of the week. Save. I'll make sure that I am adding it to the correct thing, and the color that I'll give it will be blue. Save. Okay, you don't like that. Let's update the color. Okay, color blue. Save. So all events. It's kind of like that. So now that I have white taken care of, I'll like to have at least one mock-up interview a week. So I'll probably schedule the mock-up for this time frame. So mock-up interview. and I'll repeat it weekly, once a week on Wednesday. And for that, I'll use probably services like Prompt or something like that. And I think it needs an hour, all events. Okay, so I will have it for an hour. Yep, save. We took care of that. Let's say from 11 to 12, that's basically when I'll pause for lunch and so on. So I'm not scheduling anything there. And for the remaining things, I want to read something and learn something new. Probably it will be a book or a tutorial or something like that. Learn a new skill. And I'll add a learn a new skill here. Learn a new skill. And I'll repeat that on Monday. Save. Okay. And I think I actually want to duplicate this. Let's see. Control C, Control V. No, it doesn't work like that. So learning a new skill, will actually update it and give it more time and give it a green. And the time that I will give it will be an hour and a half. Save. Okay. I'm sure why you don't like the colors. Let's update this color to be green. So investing time in learning a new skill. I have to update that. Save. Okay. Have it like that. So the only times that I have left is I have networking, retrospective, and tech events, right? So for that, I also want to make sure that I have enough time. So here, I'll add that. I'll add probably emails. I'll check my emails. Actually, no. I'll change the emails to be from 3 p.m. to 3:25. No, I'll do 20 minutes a day emails, and that will be on daily basis. So daily basis, I'm adding it to the correct calendar, and emails will be purple. Okay, so we have emails, so I'll add emails to the list. So I'll make sure that I have that. And next thing that I want to make sure that I will have networking on Friday, and networking, I think that's probably not enough time. So I would add an hour and a half there and add it to the correct calendar. And let's say networking will be something important and it will be red. So I added that. And I will do a retrospective. And the retrospective will be to look at how the week went, what is the strategy, what should I apply my time on, what kind of do course correction and see what I'm doing next. So I did take care of the retrospective, and the only time I have left is not there, but here. So I will adjust the time to be 1:30 to, no, it's 1:30, and it will be for an hour and a half. Okay, so you might say, okay, how can you add event on Thursday? Maybe an event will be on Friday, maybe an event will be on Tuesday, and the time is different. Again, this is just me trying to schedule the time, kind of have a template. And when I see an event, let's say like next conference or something like that. It might be probably 1 day long, and that will kind of mark a couple of checks for my week. Kind of, okay, I did learn something new. I did practice networking. Probably I did chat with somebody or something like that. So in that case, I will adjust the week according to the events that are happening during that time. But this is kind of a template for me to see what do I want to spend my time on, and I'm adjusting it. So in this case, I'll do events, conferences. So, and it will be a task that is repeated on weekly basis, and I will give it a correct calendar, and the color that we haven't used, that's emails. Let's do this bluish. I think we already used that one. Okay, I think tangerine was not used. Okay, so this is an overall week that I have. So I don't know, I did every day. So I will do that. Save. Yep, all events. I got it. Okay, so now this is kind of a schedule. Again, as I said, it might be something that next week I might have an interview that is coming up or something like that. In that case, I might push the job application somewhere else. It's just this event, and here I will make sure that I'm adding interview with me and save it, right? And it's something that for sure I need a notification, so I will make sure to add a notification. I don't want to miss that at all, so I'll save it. Again, something that maybe my coach needs to meet earlier, so I'll change that and add it to earlier stage. And for this week, I want to focus on, let's say, something like linked list. And I'll repeat that as a full day, and it will end at the end of the week, and save. So that is kind of how the schedule looks. The tips that I hope you take away is that kind of make sure that you compile a list of things that you want to do on a weekly basis. So you have that list, and you pull up your calendar and look at what do you want to spend the most time with. Like, what is your overall strategy? Like, you want to spend, let's say, 10 hours doing lead code a week, so you add 10 hours for lead code. You want to do maybe project work. How much time do you want to work on that? Maybe you want 20 hours a week for projects. You do that, but the strategy is basically you add the tasks that you want to do on a weekly basis and have them right on your side. You have the calendar, and you make a template for your week. Next week, or during the retrospective time on Friday evening, you again look at what you want to do next week. You probably know in advance what interviews you will have, so you kind of immediately have that in your calendar, and you just adjust, and you make sure that you set the focus for your next week. So let's say my focus for next week is linked list, so I added the focus. If I want then the week after that to be focused on, let's say, trees, no, I would say next week should be stacks, back and queue. I will do all day, and I'll mark it as that. Mark it for the correct calendar. And yeah, so that's kind of the gist of it. You'll find a link below for this calendar. So if you want to use it as a template, feel free to use it. When you add it to your template, as a template to your calendar, you can enable it, disable it, and so on. And you can adjust the times as you want. Not necessarily have to start at 5 in the morning. You can start at whatever time works for you. This is my example, and is not a sign that I'll be more successful versus a person who starts later on is just what works for me.
So what are the takeaways for this video? In this video, you saw what I am planning to spend my time on, what data structures I want to spend time in, making sure that I am mastering them so I'll be able to crack the coding interview, what algorithms I'm planning to do, what concepts I'm planning to brush up on, and what is my strategy to prep. Like, how much time do I spend on lead code problems, how much time I'm planning to spend on actually applying for jobs, how much time do I spend on whiteboarding, how much time do I spend on networking, and so much more. And also looking at the process, right? I share with you the concepts, like, right, the pillars of prepping for coding interview. The strategy has to be that you spend time on concepts, you spend time on practicing, you spend time on actually doing assessments, such as doing mock-up interviews, real interviews, doing retrospectives, and the fourth pillar for the interviews, right? You need to get those interviews. You have to actually do applications. You have to work on your resume, you have to work on your cover letter, and you have to work on stuff like that. So those are the takeaways. So if you found something useful in this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe so you will be notified when I'm publishing next videos. And that next videos will be also in a relationship with software engineering, tech interviews, how to prep for tech interviews, and anything and everything about software engineering. Until next time, I wish you happy engineering. Bye bye.